What's going on, y'all? It is UFC 305 time, and I'm stoked. Want to give you a quick little breakdown. So, without further ado, let's bust it wide open. Our first fight on the card is going to be Stuart Nicol, however you want to say it, versus Jesus Aguilar. Stuart Nicol, I don't know a lot about him. I've seen a couple of his regional fights. He's the hotness right now. So I think they're really trying to set up a win for him. Don't sleep on Jesus Aguilar, though, and remember that a lot of guys who make their debut, upwards to 60% or more, lose. So that already is going to tell you that Jesus Aguilar could be live in this fight. I'm not going to pick him because I think he's got some flaws that Stuart Nicol can exploit and get a win here. But if you're looking for dog money, I wouldn't be mad at you if you put a little on Jesus Aguilar, for sure. Next up, Song Kenan versus Ricky Glenn. I like Ricky Glenn. Always liked him. He always, brings it. He's fun to watch. He's a cool dude. But I think he's a little past it now. Song Kenan has got some pop. Wrestling's not bad. If he can stay out of certain positions, not get submitted here, he should be able to walk all over Glenn. I mean, this guy almost knocked out Ian Gary. He could have changed his whole life. He was that close. But the fight IQ, and that's one of the reasons that I said if he can stay out of positions. If he can stay out of, certain positions and not get himself submitted here, I think he wins this fight all day. Next up, Tom Nolan versus Alex Reyes. Alex Reyes is Dominic Reyes' brother. Guy's almost 38 years old. At lightweight, that's not really good, man. I'd love to see him get a win here. The guy's been through a lot, and I think he deserves it. But you got to earn it, and I don't think you're going to earn it against Tom Nolan. And I'm going to tell you, Tom Nolan is a lot better than we've seen. We haven't even seen the best of this guy yet. I think it'll be closer than a lot of people, than the odds say, for sure, because you got Tom Nolan at like minus 1,000. No sense in even, if you're going to bet on this fight, you bet Alex Reyes, because he's plus 700. I mean, throw $5 on it. You know what I mean? But to be honest, I wouldn't touch it. But it's Tom Nolan all the way. Then we're going away from the early prelims, get into the regular prelims. You got Jack Jenkins versus Herbert Burns. Herbert Burns kind of sucks. No disrespect. He's got some good wins somehow. He does have good wins, but overall, what we've seen in the UFC tells me he's hardly UFC level. His only chance to win here would be able to get some kind of submission. Jack Jenkins is going to run through this guy. Jack Jenkins is a high confidence pick. If you're parlaying, you should put him on there. Easy. I was thinking about putting 1,000 on him, but at those odds, you're still not making much. He's like minus 800. So yeah, Jack Jenkins is easy. Next up is Casey O'Neill versus Luana Santos. This one is tough. This one's really hard. This is probably the hardest fight to pick on here for me. In fact, we don't have long, but let me just let me look at their history real quick. Because guys, we doing this off the fly. This is when I'm on here on Monday or Tuesday, it's my first look at the card. I'm just looking at it and giving my opinion. And then later I'll do something a little more detailed maybe. You know what? I'm going to go with Luana Santos. I'm going to go with Luana Santos because she's coming off a win. Casey O'Neill, it seems like when she gets to a certain level of competition, as good as we thought she was, she hasn't really been performing. And Brazilian chicks are hot right now. I mean, they're hot, but I mean, they're hot right now. Like, Brazilian chicks are winning. Like, check the record books, man. Brazil is coming up even more than they've come up. You know what I mean? There was a little bit of decline. You had all these champions. You had all these different Brazilian champions for a while, and then they kind of fell off. But the women are carrying it, and them and Fight Nerds, for sure. So yeah, I cannot doubt a Brazilian chick here. So Luana Santos for the win. Next up, you got Josh Culibao versus Ricardo Ramos. I'm gonna go with Josh Culibao, but it's tentatively. Because I do think Ricardo Ramos is pretty good, and I definitely think that he can get a submission off and somewhat contend in the striking. But if Culibao is on his A game, this is his fight. Junior Taffa versus Walter Walker. I'm going to go with Junior Taffa. I know that's not the best idea because apparently Walter Walker's like this great wrestler. Well, let me see it. Let me see what you got, and then I'll pick you next time. I picked against him in the Brzeski fight. He was like a huge favorite. And I also parlayed him with Weidman, if you guys could believe that. I got Weidman and Lucas Brzeski on one ticket. But I wasn't confident enough, so I didn't put a big amount of money, unfortunately. But who did that? Show me who had that parlay, because that was pretty sweet. But I just think Junior Taffa's seen better competition. He's going to be quicker. Surprisingly, he should be faster out there. He'll probably get held down, but anytime there's spots where they can get striking off, I'm going to go with Junior. Next up, we got my man Jangalang, Li Jiliang versus Carlos Pratis. Man, I hate this. I really hate this, but I think Carlos Pratis is going to win. Li Jiliang has been gone for too long. He's coming off a bad injury, and I hate this fight for him. You know, I really wanted to pick him, but I just think that he's kind of on the way out. This dude's coming up, man. I wouldn't be shocked if he got it done, but I can't pick him here. I just think that Pratis is going to be too fast, too strong, too aggressive. I don't know if he'll get a finish, but it's probably going to be Pratis here. Then we got Tai Tuivasa versus Yarinzo Rosenstreich. Rosenstreich is going to win. Tai Tuivasa, he's on the backside of his career, doesn't take shots like he used to, has never been the most technical guy, and he can't wrestle. The things that got him where he is are not quite there anymore. He's still got the big power, but if you're going to have a just straight up boxing match with Rosenstreich, I don't know, man. A lot of people aren't winning that. So this might have been a fight that Tai Tuivasa could have won a few years ago, but it ain't. I'm confident Rosenstreich's going to win, unfortunately. For Tai, I like Rosenstreich, so I'm happy either way. I picked him to beat Shamil Gaziev, so that was a great win. Then we got Mateus Gamrot versus Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker can definitely win this fight. Mateus Gamrot, he does get hit. His defensive striking is kind of leaves a little bit to be desired. That being said, Dan Hooker, his wrestling is poor, man. So I just don't see him getting it done here. I'm gonna go with Gamrot. I just think it's his time, man. But Dan Hooker's a solid underdog if you're searching for one bad enough. And then we got Kai Kara France versus Steve Erceg. This is a tough fight. I'm gonna go with Erceg. Erceg has just been on fire now. I thought he won the Pantoja fight. Don't shoot me. It was close. It could have went either way, but you know, I'm just saying what I felt. And if you could beat a guy like Pantoja, or at least contend at that degree, you can beat Kara France. And Kai Kara France is a great fighter. One of my favorites. I've loved him since he was on Tough. And if he wins here, I'll be happy. But I'm gonna go with Steve Erceg. I just think that he can contend in the striking enough, and if it gets to the ground, that's a wrap. Ty's hard to get down, more than you think, but it just seems likely, man. So, yeah. And then we've got Israel, the dog bender Adesanya versus DDP, Dricus Du Plessis. You can tell by the way I said that, I'm going with DDP. I can't stand Izzy. He doesn't deserve this shot. They just give this guy numerous, infinite title shots. DDP is gonna destroy Izzy, and I hope he annihilates him, embarrasses him worse than Strickland did, and we don't have to see him anymore, because I'm tired of this. They keep giving this guy a title shot he doesn't deserve, and there's rumors that they're even trying to give him another shot at Alex Pereira, so another title shot when he doesn't even have any wins in that division. So yeah, DDP's stronger. He can do all of the things that give Adesanya trouble, but he can take it to the top. Like he's got more he's got more power. He's got the finishing ability. He's smarter than guys like Marvin Vettori and all of them. It's his fight, man. I think he's gonna bully Izzy in there, and I think he's gonna hurt him. So I'm going with DDP all the way. And that's it, you guys. I appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the hate. Appreciate the discourse. Let me know who you have in the comments below, and let's get paid. Toodles.